What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have so much important information to talk about in today's video. We have really important news with AMC stock, commodities, mortgage rates, and even tech stocks like Apple and Tesla. Like I said, we have a ton to go over in today's video. We have a ton of great plays lined up, so make sure you guys stick around to the end. And towards the end of the video, we're going to be going over a $4.8 million trade for next week. So make sure you guys stay tuned. But Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Yeah, the overall market today was fantastic, actually. Well, overall, it was in the tech sector anyways, which is generally most of the market. But we saw like Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, all those stocks doing very well today, specifically like Apple and Tesla really flying up. They're really having good moves today in the market. But, we did see AMC still going up today, and it actually passed above that $60 resistance that was really posing a hard level to get through for quite a while. Now it's trying to get through that 64.71 high, which it's actually trying to get through there, but it's just having a little bit of chop today. Looks like it's actually very strong and like it could possibly go up again tomorrow, but it is up 10% today and it's starting to look pretty strong. Even on the daily chart, it started to come back a lot. I thought yesterday might have been the start of like a pretty big move to the downside, but I'm pretty surprised to see, AMC doing as well as it is, popping up like this.
For sure. So Tom, I know this stock is really volatile, but I think it's awesome to see how it's holding its ground. Like you look back on AMC and even GameStop back in January, and while they had a crazy explosive run up, it only lasted for like a couple days. Like it shot up and then it came right back down. But AMC, it's shooting up and it's holding its levels, which I think is an awesome sign. It shows that, these buyers are not backing down and they're holding their ground against these, large institutions and hedge funds. So like, Tom, what levels do you have your eyes on for AMC?
Yeah, I think the main level to watch for tomorrow is going to be 64.71. If we can pass above that or the high of today, right around like $64, I think it'll be a pretty good move. But above 64.71 is where you'll see the most success. But I really like how it's holding that $60 support. It bounced off of it around 2 times today. It came pretty close, like did fall down to like 59.75 or 59.50 there, but it did kind of hold right around 60. And I think as long as we could stay there for tomorrow morning and throughout tomorrow, like as long as we stay above 60, I think we'll start to see some pretty good moves, possibly up above $65.
Sounds good. And then I also know that tech stocks are just going crazy, specifically Apple and Tesla and like even Nvidia. I think it's awesome to finally see, especially stocks like Apple and Tesla start to rebound. They've been struggling a lot over the past couple months, and I actually really like their setups right now. The QQQ actually broke all-time highs today, which is awesome. So what's your take? What's your input? What levels are you watching for some of these tech stocks?
Yeah, I think that the tech stocks are moving really well. And with QQQ here, I think making it move above 350 is going to be a pretty good move for tomorrow. Or, 347. Sorry about that, but it's sitting right around like 346. 38 was the high for today, just sitting right under 346 right now. So I would say make it break out about 347. And I think then we'll see a pretty good move. But, we did see like AMD fly up a lot today, up around 5.55%. And they had some great news today with Google, where they're going to start being pretty much the preferred chip for Google, and they're going to be working together a lot. So that's going to help out AMD, obviously, very much. And we could see they were up 6% today, really starting to break out of that $83 resistance level and just continue to fly up today. And, I've been talking about this one a lot in the videos, and it's just been kind of consolidating. I think if AMD could start to move up above like 85.40 tomorrow, we could see a pretty good move out of that. And whenever we go look at Tesla, I think Tesla's getting up to some of these pretty good resistances, like around 625. But if it could break the high of today around like 621.50, then I would definitely target 625 as the upper resistance on Tesla.
Sounds great. So, Tom, I also heard some very interesting news with mortgage rates. What's going on there?
Yeah, CNBC actually reported that mortgage rates were getting killed, not getting killed. Sorry, they're actually doing very well today after Powell's comments, they moved a lot higher, and the average rate on the popular 30-year fixed mortgage moved decidedly higher, hitting 3.25%, according to Mortgage News Daily. And last fall, mortgage rates dropped dramatically, and by February of this year, the average rate on the 30-year fix was 2.75%. So we have moved up around like 50 basis points there. And it says the Fed officials indicated that the rate hikes could come in 2023, although they didn't mention when they would start scaling back their bond buying program. And it, like the Fed said, like they plan on raising rates in a little while. And it's just crazy to see some of these like the 30-year obviously starting to really go up, which is just a weird sign. You know, people aren't kind of like expecting, you know, they weren't expecting this type of move up out of the mortgage rates, especially with the way Powell was talking. They would have honestly expected the opposite.
All righty. And then what's going on with commodities? You know, you look at like slash ZC, which is corn futures. You look at even gold, and they're all tanking for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, these are all tanking, and CNBC reports that a lot of this has to do with China taking steps to cool off rising prices with inflation right now. And then also the US dollar has just been on fire. And we can see gold on slash GC's chart here starting to really fall off the table. Even the stock GLD really falling off. And if we go check out the dollar, which is $DXY on Thinkorswim, you can see how much the dollar has really risen the past couple of days. And, you know, I think that that's a huge thing to do with gold is obviously the price of the dollar, and gold generally moves opposite of the dollar, kind of like what we're seeing right now. So the dollar's shooting up and gold is flying down. But at the same time, China is trying to take steps right now to help curb inflation. And who knows, they could be like selling out of parts of their like gold positions. I know they have lots of gold. They have lots of oil, copper. You know, a lot of these governments store up a lot of these types of precious metals and commodities. And it's just not good to see that right now. And then also looking at the dollar on a max daily chart, it's actually really consolidating down here around 90 on the chart and kind of hit off this support quite a bit. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we started to see a rise in the dollar possibly over the next couple of months, even though, you know, like this type of news with inflation doesn't sound the best for it, but who knows? It looks like it's strengthening it as of right now.
All righty. So now let's get right into our momentum plays in our member of the day. Today's member of the day is DMC48. Thank you so much for being a great positive member of the Discord, and thanks for all of your just positive input in general. Thank you for everything, DMC48. But now let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And then, Tom, we have to cover my favorite stock, Zoom. It had a pretty solid day.
Yeah, Zoom actually did very well. If they could start to break out tomorrow above 375, I think we'll see another awesome breakout. And they had a lot of problems getting up above like 374.50 to end the day, but they held their ground very nicely. So definitely look for a pretty solid breakout above 375.
With the next one, we have CRWD.
CrowdStrike. This one's been on fire the past few days as well, but make them break out above 242.
Sounds good. With the next one, we have Tesla.
Yeah, and with Tesla, it's actually looking pretty decent today, coming up to those resistances like we talked about earlier. Make it break out above the high of today around 621.50.
Sounds good. So we are watching these three plays for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. But now let's get right into the bot play from today. So if we check out the bot, it called out Tesla 620 strike calls at around $440 each. It just exploded up from there and ran all the way up to $730. Overall, the bot had a great day trade on this. If you want to trade with the bot and with Tom and I every single day, you can click the first link in the description down below, and you'll also save around $40. The bot has been really hot lately. Of course, not every single play is explosive like this, but it's been pretty hot for the most part. So definitely check it out. You can cancel at any time. Like I said, there is a coupon in the description down below. It'll automatically be applied, and you'll save about $40. But now let's get right into the $4.8 million trade for next week. We are looking at the Apple 135 calls that expire on June 25th. Overall, I think Apple looks pretty solid, and I would say that they are longing these calls.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say they're longing them as well. It is a little far out of the money, but especially like with it being next week. I think that that's definitely enough time for Apple to move up to 135, especially if it keeps moving the way it moved today, which had a pretty strong move actually for a stock like Apple. And definitely looks hot with the tech sector going up. And I would think it could possibly hit this over the next few days. And Apple's going to be a pretty good trade for tomorrow if it can break out above that high of day.
Awesome, awesome. Well, now let's get right into our comments from the previous episode. And with the first comment, we have Luke saying, "Hey, Mike and Tom, can you guys go over DOW?" So Dow Chemical. Let's check it out. DOW, it is kind of getting crushed over the past couple days. And I know that like a lot of value stocks have a similar chart. And, the first one I think of is CAT, which is CAT. I think it has a relatively similar chart to DOW right now. And I really just think we're seeing a rotation out of value stocks and into tech stocks like, Apple, Tesla, and, even Zoom. So I really do think we are in the beginning part of a general market rotation. But Tom, like, what levels do you have for DOW?
Yeah, DOW actually has some pretty good like longer term supports here, right around $60, which we're 3 points away from. I think as we go down here, we might bounce off of 60 on the way down. Below 60, I see another one down there around $55. That's also pretty strong, but I'm with you. I think it's mainly just like a market rotation right now. And this is just a pretty good value stock. And I know that DOW pays a pretty big dividend as well. So whenever you're trading Dow, a lot of people hold it for the dividends, and it's definitely thrown in there with those value stocks for sure.
All righty. And then we have a great question from Rich saying, what would you say is one of the determining factors whether a new trader falls victim to the stat line of approximately 90% of new traders failing versus succeeding, and then longevity? So I think this is a great question, and I think that there are a lot of parts to this question. I think that this can be a whole video in itself. And of course, you have to have the basics covered, like, like an actual strategy. So you know what you're going to do. You have to have risk management strategies in place. You have to, you have to be disciplined. But aside from that, I think the biggest thing is being able to adapt. I think it's so important to understand that the market is always changing. Literally every single day, every single minute, the market is changing, and you have to be able to adapt to that. There are so many people that can put a ton of work in, back testing everything, and they could find a great strategy, right? Most people don't even put enough effort in to do that. But for those who do, they can put a ton of effort in, create a great strategy. But, a month or two later, that strategy can be traded out by, some other hedge fund or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, the market is always adapting and it's always changing. So being able to adapt quickly and in a smart way is, in my opinion, the most important thing.
Yeah, and I think that while yeah, like what you said is hitting it right on the head. That's definitely a very good thing. And one of the things I think that a lot of the new traders do that really causes them a lot of mistakes is that they all really want to make a lot. They want to make way too much money, way too fast, and then they don't start with enough capital to do that. And I think it's smart to start out with a small amount of capital, of course, and just buy some shares, possibly get into calls and puts, go that route, but take it slow and easy. Don't just like jump straight into options right away. I don't think that's going to work out too well for most traders, or don't just jump straight into $10,000 positions or anything like that. I think just take it nice and slow and easy and start to kind of learn, like what Mike said about how the market moves and everything like that. I think that'll be the way to go, because it seems like a lot of these traders, they want to start out with $100 and they want to end up making 100 grand this year off of their $100. And the chances of that happening are so low that, not even like Warren Buffett would be able to do that. So, looking at stuff like this and going forward, it's one of those things. I think that on a statistic basis, I think a lot of people they really over leverage in the beginning, and especially whenever they don't have a lot of experience, and they shouldn't be doing that.
And while you brought that up, Tom, I think it's important to mention like how, if you, let's say you do have $100 account, right? Everyone has to start somewhere, and I think it's better to start rather than just like sit on the sidelines. But I really want everyone to really pay attention to percentages. Tom, like you said, like people kind of have unrealistic expectations, and let's say you can get a 5% return in a month. Over the course of a year, that's a 60% return. And I know like it sounds crazy, but like looking at things from like a percentage standpoint can also help, because there are some people who might have, a $1,000 account. And, if you can consistently make, let's say 5% a month, like at the end of the year, that's just amazing returns. And if you can scale that, that can be amazing. So I would encourage everyone to look at things from a percentage basis, because in the stock market, you can, for the most part, always scale up. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty easy to scale up because there's a lot of liquidity, especially nowadays. So I would definitely pay attention to that. But great question overall, Rich. And then with the next comment we have, let's see, Justin saying, great video, guys. What do you think about an AMC July 2nd $40 call option? So I like how it's pretty deep in the money. I think that's awesome. If anything, it would be a little bit, better to get a little bit more time, but I think you have a pretty good quality option. Just understand that AMC is very volatile, so I just hope you're prepared for that volatility. But I think it's awesome with the way AMC is currently moving.
Yeah, me too. And especially if it holds that $60 support, I think it'll be pretty good for you. And it looks like AMC is really trying to like break out here over the next few days. So I think that if we see a move, it will happen pretty soon also. So I think you got pretty good timing at least on it as well. I'm glad you went really far in the money with the $40 call. I don't know when he got it. Let me know in the comments on this video if you picked it up yesterday or a couple days ago, because I'll definitely be interested to know.
Sounds good. Well, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything you're watching for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, still watching the SPY, of course, really watching these banks, Mike. I mean, they continued to sell off today. And I don't know if this was with the mortgage rate news or what ended up happening, but like we reported, the mortgage rate shot higher off of Powell's comments. We're seeing banks just getting destroyed right now. Hopefully, like Bank of America and JP Morgan can start to hold up on some of these supports, because it's starting to sell off pretty hard on some of these charts, especially like JP Morgan, Bank of America. Wells Fargo's chart looks just really bad. So just overall, the bank sector has just gotten destroyed, but I really like how the tech sector is flying up. Like we have Palantir looking awesome, Zoom looking awesome, DraftKings even coming back, starting to look awesome, even though that terrible report came out. So I really like a lot of these stocks going up. It's just unfortunate to see those banks going down. I will be eyeing them up possibly if they keep falling, maybe for some puts or for some longer term positions. And whenever I said eyeing them up for puts, I mean selling cash secured puts.
All right, well, sounds good. And thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget, if you guys are interested in getting, basically daily signals from the bot sent to you for options trades, click that first link in the description down below. The bot has been on fire. Day trades, swing trades, order flow bots, you name it, we probably have it. You'll also save around $40 in the description down below, so definitely check it out. You can cancel at any time. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We post brand new videos every single day. And also, come join Tom and I live every single morning at Market Open on the new StockedUp live channel. The link for that is also in the description down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.